Good day, everyone. I will discuss to you the first part of the financial statement analysis. Financial statement analysis involves careful selection of data from financial statements in order to assess and evaluate the firm's past performance, its condition, and future business potentials. So sa financial statement analysis, basically, it is an interpretation of financial statement of the company. It includes selection of a certain data. So ang sinasabing data ay ang nasa figure ng finance. So the purpose of this financial statement analysis is to evaluate the past performance, the present performance, condition, at ang future potentials. So ito ang written records ng company or individuals kung saan makikita ang status ng current performance. Objectives of financial statement analysis. So the primary purpose of financial statement analysis is to evaluate and forecast the company's financial health. Interested parties such as the managers, investors, and creditors can identify the company's financial strength and weaknesses and know about their first, profitability of the business firms, second, firm's ability to meet its obligations, third, safety of the investment in the business, and fourth, effectiveness of management running the firm. So, dito sa objectives, sino ang gagamit ng financial statement analysis? So, syempre, ang mga users. So, sino sila? So, syempre, ang managers sa company, ang investors, at ang creditors. So, ang mga hinihingi ng investors ay ang profitability. Kung worth it ba na mag-take risk siya sa pag-invest sa company? So, dito niyo makikita sa analysis sa financial statement. Next, si creditor. Ano ang hinihingi ni creditor? So, ito ay ang liquidity. If able ka ba na makapag-paid sa kanya in short term or in a long term na mga liabilities. Last is the manager. So, syempre si manager, ang hinihingi ay ang liquidity and solvency overall. So, si manager ultimately, ina-assess niya kung tama ba ang kanilang pagpapatakbo sa firm. If they are running the firm effectively from their liquidity sa profitability and solvency, so dito na lang makikita if okay ang kanilang profitability and solvency. So, techniques used in financial statement analysis. So, there are lots of tools or technique or methods in making financial statement analysis. So, ito ay first, or horizontal analysis, or trend, ratios, and percentages. Second, vertical analysis, or the common size statements. Third, ratio analysis. Fourth, analysis of variation in gross profit and net income. And fifth, the cash flows analysis. So, ang i-discuss ko ngayon sa inyo ay ang horizontal at ang vertical analysis. So, ang pinaka-main na ginagamit dito or sinasubject sa vertical tools at horizontal tools ay ang income statement and balance sheet. So, ang overall na process sa financial statement analysis ay ang pagpili ng data to predict profitability, liquidity, solvency. Pero syempre, hindi lang basta-basta data kasi tinitingnan mo rin kung ang data ay saan gagamitin. Halimbawa, sa profitability, syempre, sa income statement yon. Or sa income statement tayo titingin kung gaano ba ka-profitable ang kanilang company. Halimbawa, sa net income, titingnan mo kung sa horizontal, kung paano siya nag-change. Horizontal analysis. It involves comparison of figures shown in the financial statement of two or more consecutive periods. The difference between the figures of the two periods is calculated, and the percentage change from one period to the next is computed using the earlier period as the base. So dito sa horizontal analysis, includes comparative financial statement. So kaya siya tinatawag na comparative financial statement analysis kasi i-compare mo ang year by year or each year records. So it is a technique where an item is compared to itself across different periods of time. So dito mo makikita kung mayroong growth or decline in that particular item. How are we going to perform horizontal analysis? So well, let us start by taking note of the time periods involved. So in this case, we have 2 years. So year 2022 and 2023. The sales revenue in 2022 is 500 pesos and in 2023 is 300 pesos. We should always take note what the base year or the last year is because we are going to express everything as a percentage of the base year. Everything should be expressed in reference to the base year. So the base year is 2022. This will be our 100%. 100% kasi ito ang common size financial statement. Again, the sales revenue in 2022 is 500 pesos in horizontal analysis. So again, we're going to express every other year in reference to the base year. So if we ask about the increase or decrease in the sales revenue, we can simply arrive by talking 100% by these percentages. So there is a 40% decrease in this case. So ang pagkuha mo ng percentage ay isosubtract mo ang most recent value sa base period value tapos i-divide mo ang sagot sa base period value. So dito, sa case na to, ang numerator ay ang 200 at ang denominator mo ay ang 500. At ang sagot dito, yun ang percentage na hinahanap mo. So ang unang question sa horizontal analysis ay first, what's the trend? So it is increasing or decreasing. So trend analysis ay isa pang tawag sa horizontal analysis. So from 500 to 300. So from 500 to 300, may decrease siya na 200 pesos, which is 40%. So ang next na tanong mo dito sa horizontal analysis ay what is the percentage change? So the answer is 40%. So it is decreasing or increasing. So again, sa horizontal analysis, it is a technique where an item is compared to itself across different periods of time. So mayroong 5 financial statement analysis. So ito yung ginagamit ng company. So first, ang balance sheet. Next, income statements. Third, cash flow statement. 4, statements of shareholders' equity. And 5th, notes of the account. So, sa balance sheet, dito natin makikita ang income resources ng business o tinatawag na asset. So, sa income statement naman, dito nakikita ang revenue account, ang expenses accounts ng business. Dito mo rin makikita kung nag-earn ng income ang business pag nasa mataas ang revenue sa expenses. Sa cash flow, dito nakikita ang movement ng cash sa current asset and current liabilities. Pwede mo na i-measure dito ang liquidity ng isang business sa pag-generate ng cash through operations. So, sa statement of shareholders' equity, so itong tumutukoy sa kasalukuyang halaga na yung trading accounts. At ang notes of the accounts, so dito makikita ang mga detailed at information about numbers at financial statement. So, sa vertical analysis, ang most common na ginagamit natin ay ang balance sheet at ang income statement. So, kapag ginamit natin ang balance sheet, the base item is the total assets. For income statement, the base item is the net sales. So, next, I will discuss to you about the vertical analysis. So, it is the process of comparing figures in the financial statements of a single period. It involves converting the figures in the statement to a common base. This is accomplished by expressing all the figures in the statement as percentages of an important item such as total assets in the balance sheet or total or net sales in the income statement. Thus, converted statements are called the common size statement or percentage composition statement. So, vertical analysis is a technique where a line item is expressed of another item called the base within the same financial statement. This is to be able to identify the components or the breakdown of the base item. So, ang isa pang tawag sa vertical analysis ay ang common size financial statement. So, bakit siya tinawag na common size? Kasi, meron kasi siyang isang base. Sales, kung income statement ang ginagamit, or net sales ang iyong base. Example of vertical analysis. Take note that when performing vertical analysis, there are numerous rules as what the base item is. For the balance sheet, the base item is the total assets. For the income statement, the base item is the net sales. So since income statement is what is given, so in this example, our base item is the net sales. So kung si horizontal analysis, i-compare mo each year, sa vertical analysis naman, i-compare mo dito ang different companies or different sizes of the companies. Halimbawa, si Company A, titingnan mo kung sa financial statement gaano kalaki ang mapupunta sa shareholders based on net income from the sales. So, i-compare mo siya sa Company B. Compare different companies. So, halimbawa, dito sa example natin na compare corporation, mayroon siyang 7.1% na return. So, dito sa ating case na compare corporation, ang sales niya ay 3,280. So, particular account divided by sales or base account. So, since this is the income statement, our base item is the net sales, 100%. Lahat ng ito, i-divide natin sa sales which is 3,280. So, breakdown. So, net income which is 2,234 pesos over 3,280 which is the sales. So, that's 7.1%. Less income tax, 126 over 3,280, so that is 3.8%. Income before tax, which is 360 over 3,280, that is 10.9%. So, ang less interest expense, which is 30, divided by the sales, which is 3,280, that is 1.0. Income from operation, which is 390, divided by 3,280, that is 11.9%. Total operating expenses, 770, divided by the sale, which is 3,280, so that is 23.5. So, less operating expenses, selling administrative, 420, divided by 3,280, that's 12.8. And less operating expenses selling, 350, divided by 3,280, that's 10.7. Gross income, 1,160, divided by 3,280, that is 54.4. So, less cost of sales, which is 2,120 over 3,280, so that is 64.6%. So, again, sa horizontal analysis is only one company in different year. So, sa vertical analysis naman is two or more company comparing performance. So, again, vertical analysis is a technique where a line item is expressed of another item, so-called a base. So, within the same financial statement. That ends the first part of our report about financial statement analysis, which is the vertical and horizontal analysis. Thank you po.